With 39 different types of fruits inside of Blox fruits, it can be really hard as a new player to tell which ones are good for leveling up and which ones are bad for leveling up. So today I'm going to go over the 5 best leveling fruits and the 5 worst leveling fruits. So let's go. Alright, so in no particular order, we're going to go over the top 5 bad fruits first. And the first fruit that I have that is really bad for leveling up, even though you might think it's good, because it is a mythical, it's going to be the dragon fruit, at least the current version. I know this fruit is getting a rework soon, so it might be really good, but as it currently stands, this fruit is horrible for leveling up because it takes so long to get the mastery, and then even when you get the mastery, the abilities aren't really that good for grouping and killing up enemies, so I wouldn't recommend using this fruit at all for leveling if you do get your hands on it. Just save it until the rework. Alright, the second fruit I don't recommend you guys use at all for leveling up is going to be yet another mythical. It's going to be the gravity fruit. While these mythicals are not looking very good so far, but trust me, this fruit is absolutely horrendous for leveling up, and take it from a guy who went from level 1 all the way to max level for a video with this fruit. This fruit sucks. Do not use it. Its abilities are all terrible for leveling up, and they do no damage. It's miserable. Please do not use it. Alright, so the next fruit that we have, which is terrible, is going to be the chop fruit. Now, finally, not a mythical fruit, but this fruit is very bad for leveling up. It can be okay because you can avoid sword attacks, which is great, but in terms of leveling up its actual abilities, it's not fun, and it's just not very good. It won't really do you any good. And it's only a common, so there's really not any reason to use it in the first place, because you're most likely going to be able to get a better fruit. Okay, so the fourth fruit that we have on this list is going to be the spring fruit. This one is kind of similar to the chop in the fact that it is a common fruit, so you're most likely going to be able to get a better fruit very quickly, and the abilities on this thing are absolutely terrible, and there's really not any reason to use it. If you get this fruit, I would recommend just dropping it and leaving it. There's just no reason to use it at all unless it's literally your first fruit. Then I suppose you can give it a go and realize how bad it is for yourself. Okay, so the last of the 5 worst fruits, it's going to be the barrier fruit. Just don't use this fruit, please. For the love of God, if you take anything from this video, just don't use it. Alright, so before we move on to the good fruit, I would like to take a minute to ask you guys to subscribe and like the video. I'm trying to reach 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so your support would be much appreciated. Thank you. Alright, so top 5 best fruits for leveling up, in my opinion, in no particular order. Let's go. Number 1, it's going to be this fruit on the ground right here. This is an ice fruit. Now, ice is incredible because it's just one of the best fruits for leveling up in the game. It has amazing AoE. It gives you a weapon when you actually eat the fruit, which is one of the only fruits in the entire game that actually do that. So it's really, really useful because you don't actually need to use a sword. If you like using swords, you can use ice instead. It's really good. Not to mention, this fruit is also a Logia type fruit, so when an enemy tries to attack me that is under my level, it cannot do any physical damage to me, which you can imagine is pretty overpowered for leveling up. Okay, this next fruit is brought to you by lung cancer, and that's going to be the smoke fruit. Even though it is very bad in real life, it's great in the game. And where is this joke going? Okay, but seriously, the smoke fruit is really, really good. It does actually give you a flight ability, which is very good. Even though it is a bit slow, it is very useful. And it is once again a Logia type fruit, like the ice fruit, so it's really good. It has a bunch of AoE abilities, which just make it really, really strong. So I highly recommend this fruit. It's very easy to get as well, which is just a massive bonus. So good luck, get this fruit. It's very good. Okay, so arguably one of the best fruits in the entire game for leveling up, if not the best fruit in the entire game when it actually loads. What the hell? All right, it's going to be the Buddha fruit. This fruit is absolutely goated. You've probably heard me say this a million times. The Buddha fruit's amazing. It's literally the best fruit in the game for leveling up, in my opinion at least, so I recommend you get your hands on this. Okay, so while the Buddha fruit is not a Logia type fruit, which means it won't protect you from lower level enemies, it is absolutely incredible for this one particular reason. As you can see, I can transform into this massive person, and then I can hit people from really far away. You can see the enemies down there, I can hit them from here, which makes it so you basically can't be hit by enemy NPCs, making it the best fruit in the entire game for leveling up, in my opinion. Okay, so this next fruit is also arguably one of the best fruits in the game for leveling up. Definitely probably the best fruit in the first sea for leveling up. That's going to be the light fruit. Now, the reason this is so good in the first sea is because it lets you fly, and it lets you fly the fastest in the entire game, and there's a lot of islands in the first sea, so it's really good for getting around. It has great AoE abilities. It's also a Logia fruit, so they can't hit you when they're lower level. It's just all around amazing. Did I also mention that it comes with a really cool spear that you can hit enemies with? So you basically, just like ice, you get a weapon with this fruit, and it's really cool. So I recommend you use it because it's one of the best fruits in the game, and it's cool. And yeah, the flight is really, really quick, as you can see. You can go very, very fast with this. Okay, so the last fruit I have is going to be the Kitsune fruit. I feel like I had to say this one before someone broke into my house and shot me in the head. Yes, the Kitsune fruit is absolutely incredible for leveling up. It is arguably one of the best fruits for leveling up. Again, there's so many good fruits, but this one is really hard to get, which is why I was a little bit hesitant to put it on the list. But it is very, very good. If you do manage to get your hands on a Kitsune fruit, it's like the best fruit in the game just overall, in my opinion. So it's just incredible to have. Okay, so the reason this thing is really, really awesome is, first of all, it allows you to run very quickly. As you can see, my dashes are the fastest in the game. This is one of the fastest fruits you'll ever use. It's really, really cool. The abilities are also really good. You do get a melee as well, so you can hit enemies. This is AoE as well, so you can group enemies up. You can also transform when you get max tails. I'll quickly grab that. Right? Ready? Watch this. Right? So you can transform. You're very quick in this form, obviously. I mean, you're literally a dog. And the abilities are absolutely awesome. It's the most up-to-date fruit as today, and it's broken. Alright, guys, that's the video. I hope it helped. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.